What does this moment mean to you after a 16-year run as an assistant? You're now the head coach at a Division I program.
You know, it's exciting, and it's obviously special. I think the most important aspect of it, and the most exciting, is just for our family. You know, it's just such a trek. I mean, we've kind of been all over the country, which has really helped me recruiting-wise, because I've built unbelievable relationships and ties to a large number of places. But it can become, you know, pretty difficult on the family. And one day I'm going to write a book, and one of the chapters is going to be on living situations, which comes when you move. But it's really exciting, and particularly in the city of Fort Wayne. Our family loves the community here. We love IPFW. We have a good thing going right now. I mean, Tony did a good job of you know, building this thing up, and it didn't just start with Tony. The continuity, it started with Doug Knoll when we went Division I and moved on to Dane Fife, and then to Tony, and hopefully the success can continue with me.
I'm sure it's been a whirlwind last 5-6 days for you. You know, what's that whole process been like as far as determining what your future was going to be?
You know, honestly, it was really easy with my athletic director. You know, she's been a coach. She came in very prepared, and you know, I think she had been, you know, studying, expecting that something might happen, and that's what comes along with being a really good athletic director, is that you have a game plan. So when obstacles and road bumps come in the way, you're planned for it. So that was phenomenal, and Chancellor Carwine was really good as well. I was able to spend a lot of time with her in Dallas at the Final Four, and she's been a big fan of ours. She's gone on the road to IUPUI. She's gone up to our Summit League conference tournaments the last 2 years. So, you know, we've been able to build that relationship as well. And at the end of the day, you know, Tony's been really helpful with that. I mean, he's selfless. He's done a great job of promoting his assistants, whether it's in the media or across campus. And so, you know, that made it, you know, pretty easy and you know, hopefully continue a seamless transition.
When did the discussions first start as far as you taking over this program?
Well, really with some of the involvement that Tony had with some different schools. Kelly approached me and said, I want to be ahead of the game. And we had a small talk, and she said, you know, with how the program is right now, you know, it's a healthy program. I don't see, you know, any need to look outside. And at the same time, you know, it goes back, you know, 2 generations now. You know, she obviously can look backwards and see the transition from Dane Fife to Tony Jasic, and you know, Dane Fife was a big part of our success this year as well. You know, you see a lot of the really successful mid-major programs out there, and they've kept continuity on their coaching staffs. And it may be people that the media may not know who they are, but they have significant roles in the success. And when you keep that continuity and you're not recreating things from the start, you know, it can kind of keep you moving up, and that's what we're hoping. We're hoping to keep moving forward.
And I'm sure for you, this was a no-brainer of a choice, correct?
It was absolutely a no-brainer to be a head coach at IPFW. The difficult part is when you build relationships, it's very difficult to say goodbye. Tony was great to me. He was great to our family. He allowed me to be a tremendous coach and a great father. And when you build those sort of relationships and someone offers you an opportunity, you know, you obviously pause, because that's what life is about. It's about relationships. But at the end of the day, you know, I've been working tirelessly for this opportunity, and IPFW has been phenomenal to both me and my family. And this group of players, there's no way I could have left this group of players. They're phenomenal.
You look at the landscape of the conference moving into next season and the players that you have coming back. Do you feel like you guys are set up for another significant run next season?
Well, the way it usually goes here is the media across the league will probably vote us 5th or 6th with all of our stuff coming back. That's kind of how things go here. But we like being the underdog, although maybe they'll get it a little closer this year. You know, I feel like we have a really good team coming back. Now, I haven't seen Oral Roberts, who's coming back into the league. I haven't seen them in 2 years, so I don't know what they're bringing back. Obviously, Denver's going to be bringing back a first-team All-League player who's very good, and they play a special style of basketball. But we have 5 of our 8 that kind of played the core minutes. We have some big holes with 3 tremendous players that had great careers for us leaving, but hopefully we can fill some of those with recruiting. Some of the guys that didn't play as much this year, they're getting in the gym and working to fill those roles, and I feel like we have an opportunity, if we keep working, to have some really good success next year.
You mentioned the recruiting. Obviously, like you said, looking to bring in some of the best players from this area, from the Midwest. Mm-hmm. You've had a lot of success with Florida. Do you foresee that, being a potential pipeline for you guys in the future as well?
I don't foresee our recruiting model really changing. I'm hoping that maybe our success rate changes in different areas. Obviously, you want to be able to recruit your backyard. It's easier to get those players and so forth, and you get to see them more often. And that's our ultimate goal, to recruit the best players in Indiana that we can possibly get, to recruit the Midwest. Everybody draws a lot of attention to my Florida ties, which I spent 8 years down there, so they are very strong, and some of those players have been very successful for us. But I have national ties. You look at Isaiah McCray from Maryland, and we really don't talk about much, but you have players from Chicago. From Gage Davis, who's coming in this year, and Joe Edwards on our team. Who I spent a lot of time recruiting those guys as well. But yes, we will. We're always going to look down there. I have very strong relationships, and those guys, they see the picture that's painted. We're a known quantity down there. And they see those guys coming up here to be really successful. And honestly, you have a little bit less competition down there. It's a big state. There's 5 major cities. There's no one to the east, the west, or the south. So we've been able to, what we think is kind of steal some pretty good players out of there.
To see the excitement from the guys today, how does that make you feel?
They're really good fakers, is what I know. Honestly, I had a chance to meet with them briefly before this and kind of break it down. And don't tell my wife, but I kind of teared up when I was talking to those. And that doesn't mean I wasn't tearing up inside during the press conference when I talked about my wife, but that group was really special. And what I told them was, I wouldn't have this opportunity if it wasn't for them. I'm indebted for how they carried themselves all year. They played with kind of our what we call our pillars, which are, we play with energy, we play with toughness, and we play with unselfishness, and they did that consistently all year, and that turned into a tremendous year for us. And I think they're really happy with what the program is, and they understand that I was a big part of that, although I was not the head coach, and we had some discussions about how the transition and the continuity, and I think they just feel very comfortable, where if you have a coach coming in from outside, you're not going to feel that comfort level. And a large number of those guys are guys that I was a lead recruiter on, and so I know their families. I've sat in their living rooms. I've known them for multiple years. For example, Steve, I've known since he was in middle school. So, those guys have that confidence.